right, what's happening, everyone out there? Good to have you on today. I know we have a pretty stacked webinar today, plenty of registrations. So good to have you all here live. As usual, as we start, if you can add a comment of where you are joining from and any other comments that you want to make about your Q4 so far would be awesome to hear. So, I'm sitting on this side. It'll be amazing to have great interactions with everyone who's attending live. So, please, Cape Town. Wow, that's a good start to the day. Thanks, Kara. Calling in from Cape Town. That's awesome. Hey, man, nice to see you, brother. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we got a couple of South Africans. If anybody doesn't know me, I'm from South Africa originally, but based here in Los Angeles. Looking forward to interacting with everyone here and hearing more about how's it going for Q4. So we've got some London, which is awesome. Vermont, Q4 sucks. What did you say there? Q4 sucks. Amazon driving down inventory for vendors. Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of shaking happening on Amazon's side and how they can figure out how to navigate Q4, including how they can make more money off of us, software providers. I don't know if you heard the latest news, but as of next year, they're going to start charging for access to the SP API. So software providers, have to really account for those fees coming next year. So we always thought this was going to happen, but not only they're always trying to make money off of us sellers, but off of us technology drivers as well. So that's going to cause a shakeup in the space, which is, with every shakeup is opportunity, right? So bear that in mind. Antarctica, wow. Okay, cool. So Andrea saying she's sitting next to a penguin in Antarctica. Pretty cool. India, Japan, Johannesburg, cool. Chicago, California. Guys, great. All good to hear from everyone here. This is going to be an exciting topic, and we've presented on this for a while now, but there's a lot of conversations happening in the space in all of the different communities, from MDS, $1 Million Seller Club, all the way through to any other communities that you're in. Australia too. What is this COSMO algorithmic change, and is it impacting our business now? Is it what's happening in the future? Trying to predict where it's going. How do we make sure that we still have visibility on Amazon, in Rufus, and this shift to COSMO, which is really the intelligence algorithm that is coming in for Amazon. So that's what we're going to dive in today. We've been live now for probably, I think it's a month and a half with our COSMO transformation service. We're going to talk more about that. But really, the evolution and what we want to present new in today's webinar is how do you actually score for COSMO? So we have an MVP product that we've developed, which is the world's first really around COSMO scoring, how to factor in that scoring system. And you guys will have the chance to access that right now. That's exclusive to this webinar. It's the first time we are talking about and showcasing the scoring system. So we've got that scoring system internally, obviously on the agentic model that we've built for COSMO Transformation Service. But now we're also starting to provide that as a way for you to test your current listings to see how you map. And you'll have the chance to access that, which is pretty cool. Hey, Crane, what's up, man? Always good to see you here in Los Angeles. Wow, that's cool. You should come visit. All right. And David Jensen, where can I find info on Amazon starting to charge SP API next year? They just released it this week, a couple of days ago. So as of January 31st, there's going to be a baseline fee. I think it's like $1,500 a year. But then as of end of March, they're going to be charging on your API access and how many calls you're making. So, there's a efficiency around how you call on Amazon is going to become critical, right? So there are some changes happening there. Anyway, let's not digress from that. Let's keep it focused on what we are covering today. Eva, if you want to share my screen, we can start going through that. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so it is a live teardown. We're going to show you a current listing. We're going to walk through the scoring system that we have, which is pretty cool because it scores the listing, but it actually gives you information up front of how you can change it yourself, which I think is really cool. And then we also have someone on this webinar that Evo is working with right now who's submitting their ASIN, and then we'll show a live scoring on that person's listing as well. And we'll share that with you. And the person who's obviously submitting that is lucky enough to get that for free. No worries, you just get a copy of that as well. So let's get going. So let's jump in. I've got you guys on the side here. I will see questions coming in, so please ask as you go. Either I'll answer it live and engage with you, or as I talk through the presentation, or towards the end, we'll have a live Q&A and we can go through it as well. What we're going to cover today is, probably about a 20 to 30 minutes conversation from my side, and then we'll go into Q&A. So, I'm very conscious of everyone's time here. We're not going to drag on for hours, but we are going to make sure that we cover the most important parts in the webinar today. Let me just do a quick tech check. I just want to see on the side if I've got Evo here. Everything looks good. So Evo, if you need me, you can get me right there. Great. Bethany from Texas. This is a cool group today, man. Any ideas? COSMO coming to UK and EU. So yes, it's already there from an Amazon perspective. From a Zonguru perspective, we are actually launching it to the UK next week. So right now we have it for US, but as of next week, we are launching for UK. I would get in right now and start testing on your US ASINs and then get ready for the UK, which is coming. So there will be an announcement very soon on that. If you don't know Zonguru, I'm John Tilley, the CEO, founder of Zonguru. We have over 20 different tools you can use to help optimize your business. But what we're really known for in the space is understanding Amazon's algorithm, that black box of what they're doing on their side, the DNA of the algorithm, how to get better organic rank. We have many tools in the space, everything from keyword intelligence through to the first integration with ChatGPT, and now, of course, the COSMO transformation service, which is, literally the best product you're going to see in the space. And I can guarantee you, you'll see it when you see the results and you hear some of the customer feedback that we have. So that is what we're known for. And we really are engineered for this moment where Amazon has to really shift and keep up with what's happening in the LLM space, conversational search. And Amazon cannot rest on the laurels of the old A9 algorithm. And we're at the cutting edge of making sure that you guys are aligned with the shift that's happening in the space. Okay. All right. Good to see some more people coming in. Keep it coming. I always like to start with an unpopular opinion. The one I have today is shoppers trust ChatGPT to research, but they still trust Amazon to decide and buy. I 100% agree with this. We see it all the time. There are studies on this, but people are searching, getting recommendation ChatGPT's e-commerce is not obviously in place yet. They are working on that. There was an announcement a month ago that they have the new e-commerce integration together with Stripe. That is coming. But in the meantime, people are getting the recommendations, and then you're opening up your trusted Amazon platform. You're finding that product, and then you are actually researching it in that space. You're looking at reviews, pricing, obviously all of those things before you're buying. So you still have a job to do, even if you are recommended visibly on ChatGPT. You have a job to do on Amazon to make sure that you get that conversion, your reviews, your price, everything, right? So the underlying aspect is, if your listing isn't optimized for AI discovery and Amazon discovery and conversion, you'll lose on both, right? And there is this crossover that we're starting to see between how are your Amazon products surfacing in ChatGPT, getting recommended there, getting visibility there, and then obviously getting purchased on Amazon as well, right? So a pretty cool space that you're getting a double leverage. Not only if you schematically match on Amazon to COSMO, you're going to get more visibility there, but if you schematically match, which is very similar to LLMs, you're getting more visibility on the LLMs, which is pretty cool, right? So that's our space where we're playing, and we're helping you to do well there. Eric Davis, totally agree. Yes, 100%, man. We see it. I mean, we all do it as well, right? We search on ChatGPT and we jump over. So what is this big shift that's happening on Amazon's side? If you haven't been talking to us for the last while, I'll just quickly recap this. The A9 algorithm, which is the current one, and it's still shifting, right? But the A9 algorithm is this real linear approach, right? It's a pretty traditional style of algorithm. It's looking for keywords in your listing, either exact or broad match where it's placed in your listing. And then it's semantically matching. Everyone thinks that the A9 doesn't semantically match. It absolutely does. It semantically matches to the signals it's getting from the keyword placement in your listing, right? Google and ChatGPT now, where it's shifting, right, is that's in a the A9 is suited to an intent-based search, right? You type in a keyword, it returns results. Where it's shifting in e-commerce in general is conversational search, right? You can search in, Google, ChatGPT. You get these AI overviews. You can have a conversation. Amazon's COSMO and Rufus is the same solution in the microcosm of Amazon, right? So how does Amazon ensure that their conversational search around Rufus matches the experience that you're having on ChatGPT? And it has to keep up in that area. It doesn't want to lose that ability. Right now, obviously, Amazon is a very strong intent-based platform, but that conversational search is going to be critical, right? So it has to own that space. And in order for it to really be great at the conversational search in Rufus, it needs an intelligent LLM algorithm, right? And that is what COSMO is. So hopefully that makes sense in everyone's head. What's really cool about it is we see it in LLMs, we're seeing it on COSMO as well. There's a technical mapping. So if you knowledge graph and technically map your listing in the right way, the algorithm is intelligent enough to then look at that mapping and then obviously match you to the different experiences, conversational searches, semantic keywords that are out there, right? So it's much more intelligent in understanding the mapping on your listing and other signals that have to come in there. Obviously, reviews, Q&A, these things are critical as signals to how you surface. The same as in LLMs, it's like Reddit and all these other pieces, right? So there's a big crossover between how Amazon algorithm is wanting to schematically match and what's happening on LLMs. Hopefully that makes sense. I know it is a little bit more technical. And as I said, the cool part is that if there is, and we're constantly looking at the space, how you schematically match on Amazon, what are the signals, how should that work? And then also looking at what is the GEO, SEO side of ChatGPT, Perplexity, specifically ChatGPT, and there are such similarities, right? So what we're focused on is how do we, as a platform, future-proof you not only for the best visibility you can get on Amazon, but how that translates into ensuring that you get visibility on those platforms and have the best shot at being recommended in ChatGPT, Perplexity, and everything else, right? That space is constantly evolving. Of course, with the launch of the integrated e-commerce side on ChatGPT, that's going to take another step, but we're on that bleeding edge to make sure that you guys have the best listings and visibility on all platforms. If there's questions on that, let me know, right? All right, so how is Q4 going? Is it soft right now? That's, we certainly felt from Prime Day there was a softness there, which is, the industry, the market. But, is it also that your rank is starting to change? Can you not put your finger on it? Why is it not performing as well as before? Why are some competitors doing better? There is a constant, shift that's happening on Amazon side, right? It hasn't fully moved, in our opinion, to full COSMO. There's still A9 there because Amazon has to make sales, right? And so they're trying to work on this transition from, its traditional archaic style algorithm to the new one. And there's a mesh between those, right? The good news is that we cover you for both, and I'll talk more about that in the next bit. Okay, we're getting into the part around how do you score your current listings. I first just want to remind everyone of what the COSMO transformation service is. We've been live now for just over a month. We have some results. We'll talk about that later. This is for the USA right now, but essentially what the system is we've built this multi-agentic AI model that allows you to in bulk optimize your listings for what we believe and from the results we're getting is matched to the latest intelligent algorithm around COSMO, Rufus, and the best part of that is what we're seeing is because we can now knowledge graph your listing, we're not tied to just creating like an ingredient based listing where we're kind of keyword stuffing your listing. So we're giving your listing the ability to breathe and to talk about like its actual benefits to customers, to how to connect better with the concerns of customers. What are they looking for, right, in listings? So we can connect better. We can talk about your brand tone, how your product is different. All of those things are accounted for so much better in the listing because we don't have to stuff it with keywords, right? And so by doing that, you have this better human conversion because your listing connects with what customers really want to hear, which is such a cool thing to see right now. We're seeing a massive increase in conversion rates from doing this. And then obviously the AI mapping gives you more search volume across the listings, right? So that's the biggest benefit, I would say, of this COSMO transformation that we're seeing is like AI is so intelligent and we've taught these agents to go deep on research to find the customer sentiment, right? What do they actually care about? And then surfacing that in your listing together with your brand tone, everything else. And that's making the biggest difference in the space, which is pretty cool. We do that deep research. We also have human experts. So when you run this through, there are places where you can engage with the agents and teach them, which is the control piece down here. You can actually, this is the cool part, and no one else is doing it in the space, is that we give you the ability in this process to teach the agent about your brand. So there's a brand intake that you can add information. There's a product intake where you can edit and tweak information. So the control sits with you, the subject matter expert, the owner or the agency of that brand. And you can teach the agent how to be the smartest agent around your brand tone, and then bring that through in the listing. So that is one of the coolest parts of this, and we're seeing some amazing results. So and again, it's going to obviously schematically match you for Amazon right now, and then it's also going to give you that visibility and the best shot at being seen on some of ChatGPT's perplexities as well, right? So again, AI is so awesome at doing this technical AI mapping. That's what we're using it for and leveraging it. But it also is really good at finding those human insights, the positioning, the connection, so you get a better conversion rate. And my favorite part of that whole tool is that we're doing it on your content, but also on your images side. And the insights we're finding on the images sides and what to put in your carousel, the narrative, the order, your EBC content, that's where brands that are executing on that, we're getting the best feedback on, because it's just making it such a simpler visual experience for customers to actually convert on your product. So, you know, the mapping is one piece, but this the intelligence of what we can now get in this new model that we've built, and how to really help you get at those insights and surface them in the right way on your listings, just elevate your listings to another level. And I'm really proud and excited about what it's doing in the space. Okay, any more questions? Bring them out. Let's jump into okay. The main part of this is how do we actually COSMO score your listings, right? So we've launched the COSMO transformation service, which transforms your listing into what it needs to be. We'll show you what that is right now. And what's cool about that report is we give you all the content, the image insights, but we tell you why it is actually better and how it maps, right? So we give you all the reasons why, so you can feel confident when you're doing it and understanding how we map for the algorithm. But what people have been asking, and we've obviously been looking at, is like, okay, but how does my current listing score? So don't just give me the solution, give me my current scoring. Where are the gaps? How does that look? We have that internally, obviously, inside of our model, because it has to find the gaps and then fill it. So what we've done is we've built an MVP tool that actually allows you to score your current listings, and you'll get a chance to access that today. And we're going to do a teardown right now. So again, everyone in the space is clear on A9 and how to score that, right? No one is until us, right? And what we're doing in the space, no one is really understanding how to score on the COSMO side. And this is the first product that's coming out in that space of how you can actually score those listings. This I'm going to just surface right now. If you want to follow along and start, if you have questions, because you're going to go through the process of how to get your COSMO listings, you can scan this and start the process. We're going to come back to this at the end. Or if you go to zonguru.link/COSMO-100, you can get to the landing page and you can start the process there. What we are including today is for every ASIN that you submit on the COSMO transformation service, we will match you and give you back some free COSMO scores, which you can use on your current listing or other ASINs you have. So if you want to submit 4 or 5, you will get 4 or 5 free COSMO scores that you can do on your current listing or other ASINs that you want to check as well. So this is the way that we're going to give you access right now. There's going to be a future tool that we're going to have inside of Zonguru, but if you want to access it right now and really scratch that itch, like how am I listing scoring right now, go through this process and we will send you that. No one else is getting it. No one before, no one after. You guys are the only one who are getting this COSMO score. And I want to jump in and show you what that is right now. So I'm going to skip through this part because I know we've revisited before and talked about it, but I'm going to summarize this at a high level. What is the COSMO optimization factors? What goes into it? At the end of the day, we're moving away from keyword position, broad, and exact match, and we're looking more at buyer intent, search behavior of your customers, the co-buy behavior, and then this technical mapping around function, usage. And if you answer those questions in the right way, the algorithm will then semantically match it to the keywords and the experiences that are out there, right? And allow your listing to breathe, where you're not going to have to put in every single keyword into the listings. This is actually from Amazon. They've given this white paper. This is a snapshot of it, but they tell you, hey, if you knowledge graph match to this technical mapping for your product, our algorithm will now understand your product and be able to match you to those. So it's pretty cool because they've actually given us literally the technical mapping that needs to be done. This is the listing we're going to look at, which is the IMIPOR listing. I'm going to show it to you in a second. And we're going to walk it through with the scoring and what it looks like. But these are the mapping requirements that we have. So we have on the COSMO side, we have over I think it's 15 plus categories that we match for: use, for function, target audience. I'm going to show you this in the actual scoring, but we do it on the COSMO side, and then we actually do it on the Rufus side. So all of these questions, right? What is it? Who's it for? What problem does it solve? How is it to use? These are all questions that we have to answer in your content. And also we're looking at reviews, and we're looking at Q&A on the Rufus side, right? The biggest customer sentiment aspects, right? And how do we make sure we answer that? So we map it technically, but we're also looking at the top similarities on Q&A and making sure we answer that on your listing. So again, what goes into the scoring system? It's the COSMO mapping, it's the Rufus mapping. You have to do well on both. We're looking at FAQs, your reviews, customer sentiment that we're getting from the APIs, and then also we're scoring it based on brand tone, customer sentiment that we understand. Are you matching on that? Your USP specificity, your unique selling proposition, how strong is that? And then the narrative optimization that you have in your listing. So that goes all into the scoring. And then, this is important. We're also scoring on the A9, right? So we are CYA covering your own ass on the A9 side, right? Because we're still, knowing there's a shift happening in that way. So specifically with your title, we're making sure that we're broad matching for the right terms. There is a deep keyword intelligence that goes into that, and you'll see that in the reporting as well. So, you get mapping on both sides, right? Right, let's jump over and I'm going to show you the scoring, right? So here is this listing, right? It's actually a really good listing. It does really well from sales. It's well ranked. It has great images. I'm going to show you the current score on this, and actually I'm going to show you the after score as well and how we've transitioned that. And then I'm going to show you the live customer listing that's submitted as well. Okay, keep the questions coming. I see a couple coming in here. I want to make sure that we see some more questions coming in so I can get to those. Guys, give me a thumbs up if you're following along and this COSMO report is something that you're interested in. I want to just make sure that if you're confused or you need more clarity, you give me that feedback and I can slow down. I can talk more about this as we walk through. You'll get some more answers as we jump into the report right now, which I'm going to show you. So this is the listing, right? Pretty good listing, good images. Here's the actual scoring readiness report. So it's getting a 63 out of 100, right? We have a weighted score around semantic COSMO matching, the Q&A side of it with Rufus, and then your actual listing basics, which accounts for that tonality, the USP, the structure of your listings, etc. It says, hey, you've got to monitor. Right now, what we're saying is anything over like 70% is pretty good, 75%. This listing does need work. Where does it need work? Well, we're going to point it out exactly right now, right? So it shows you here, like, hey, on the semantic mappings, right, of those 15, 20 points, right, where is it shallow and where is it strong? So it's saying right now for the useful function is actually shallow, right? And it says, hey, it talks about the generic feeding schedule, right, but only 3 basic functions, right, missing specific use cases that COSMO needs. So weight management feeding programs, pet care schedules, kitten puppy growth feeding plans, right? So it's giving you some insights around like what's been talked about in the space and what the mapping needs. If your listing talks more about this, you will match better on the used for function, right? Used for situation, it's also saying shallow, right? It's saying, hey, it talks about long weekends, but what's missing is daily work hours, irregular working schedules, multi-day conferences, travel, vacation travel, right? Pet sitting scenarios. Right? So it's giving you some of these insights like, hey, if you start to include some of this around the useful function situation, you will map better on all the various situations that are out there for, how people find your listings, right? Target audience is good. Product type, capable of. Those are all matching well. Used in location is missing, right? So it's saying, hey, there's a critical gap. It's saying you should specify, what, obviously the home, most obvious, right? But apartments, RV campers, right? So there's things here that are missing that you should be including that we're seeing in the space that you should really match for. And that's based on keyword intelligence. It's based on the niche, the analysis of the niche. There's a few other ones here like compared to. So this one is not really positioning it well against competitors, right? How is it different from other ones, right? So manual feeding, right? Basic gravity feeders, Wi-Fi smart feeders, right? Large feeders, the size, right? These things are all missing from the mapping, right? So it's telling you right here, if you make these changes manually, you can take this insights and update them. You will have a better matching for it. On the roofer side, right, it's only scoring 5 out of 15, right? So there's a pretty big gap. Excuse me. Let's get some water there. It's saying here, hey, what's included in the package is missing. How durable will it last, right? No mention of, how warranties or anything along those. What's the setup process? How do you actually set it up? What food type is it compatible with? Is it dry? Is there a specific recommendation on food, right? Co-buy, that's a co-buy situation there that you really need to make sure you factor in. What some high purchase decision impact, right? Does it require subscriptions, apps? How does it compare to similar products? These are all questions that are being asked in the space, and you have to address these. And if you address them in the right way, if you engage with roofers, you're going to get more visibility, right? So it's telling you here, these are all the things that you need to look at. Is it compatible with smart home systems, right? So you need to answer those questions. It's giving you exactly what you need to do here. And then what's pretty cool, we go even further than that. We give you some strategic optimization opportunities. So here it's really telling you, hey, create comprehensive product descriptions. Really talk about, description just repeats title verbatim, right? So it's saying there's a massive opportunity missed here, and it tells you what you should actually talk about in the listing, right? Over here, it's talking about positioning and value proposition. It's missing, right? Technical specifications, there's some that are missing. So I'm not going to go through the detail here. You can do it on your own listing, but literally, we're telling you in this why you're scoring badly, what you should optimize, and we're giving you some very specifics on actually things that you need to do to improve your listing. Now, you can do that manually, and you guys can go ahead and do that. Or obviously, you can use our deep, agentic model that understands all of this, does deep research on your actual niche, surfaces all of these insights, and then creates the listing for you, and it gives you the CSV with all the content you can upload, and obviously the image side as well, with big insights there, which is making the biggest difference on conversion. All right, so oh geez, did I just walk through this and I didn't see? I'm sorry, guys. I'm just seeing everything here. So what's happened is I haven't been able to share the other screen. Oh man, I'm gonna go back and just show you guys. Let me just, I don't know why it's not shifting screens. So let me try that again. Sorry about that. Okay, so share screen. Okay, let me know if you guys can see this now. Let me go over here. Okay, you can see it now. I don't know why that happened. Sorry, guys, I got stuck on that other screen. So this is the report that I walked through. I'll just recap this again. So sorry about that. All right, let's see. I can see it now. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. I didn't see that comment earlier. Apologies for that. Here's the scoring, right? And here's how it's broken down. So useful function, the shallowness, right, which I talked about, the target audience. These are the ones that is actually matching on well. This was the gap, right? Using location, the shallowness on, when is it used, long weekends, etc. The compared to, which is missing, right? So these are all the useful functions that it's picked out that are missing and telling you how to improve it. And on the Rufus answer engine, here it was, right? So what is it? These are questions that are answered well. These are the ones that are insufficient depth, right? What's included in the package, how durable would it last, right? And it's telling you what you need to do. And then on the bottom section here, we're actually saying these are the ones that aren't answered, right? So things like, is it compatible with your smart homes, the subscription? So it's telling you these are the things that are missing that you need to actually match on, and it's telling you what you should. So you can literally manually take this and add it to your listing. And then we give you the strategic opportunities at the bottom, right? So we talk about the product descriptions, the value proposition, and we tell you exactly what you should put in here. So look at this for a value proposition. It says, hey, you should actually change it to, unlike Wi-Fi feeders require internet apps, operates reliably standalone, more precise portion control than grab. So it's giving you the actual copy and the ideas that you can then manually take and then put into your listing. Now, you can do this yourself, or obviously you can use the listing optimization to make that update. All right, let me see. Okay, so everyone can see it, right? Can't see it clearly though. Can you share the document at the end? Yes, I think we can follow up and send you some of this documentation as well, so you can look at it, right? So on the you guys will get a replay of this, and maybe we can. I'll have to speak to Evo, but we can attach this as well, or obviously just request it, and you can get another one. We have another one coming up because I'm going to show you a live attendees report as well. So we'll come back to this as well. But this at the end is basically a score. It's going to tell you, I said, anything above a 70, you're starting to get into the good realm. We break it down by the COSMO, the Q&A on the Rufus side, and the basics of the listing. And then we tell you, where are you shallow, where are you well matched, where are you missing, and we tell you what you should actually update in your listing so you can make those changes. And then we give you a strategic recommendation at the end with some actual copy language that you should put into your listing, right? So there's a lot here on this report that will tell you how to update your listings. Of course, you can do it on the listing optimization side, which is this, right? And so I'm just looking at the questions here. You want to see the QR code again? Yeah, no problem. Let me just go up here and just show it to you. You can use this QR code if you want to scan it. Go to zonguru.link/Cosmo-100 or scan this QR code. I'll leave it up for 1 second. I'm going to jump right now into actually showing you, that was the IMI pool, right? And the actual scoring. I'm going to show you the output of what this report is once you complete it. And again, what you get from the COSMO side is you get a full deep dive report on the actual copy, the current copy, and how you should update it and how it's actually mapped. We give you a deep dive on your listing side, which is the pretty cool part. We actually look at your competitors. We give you an actual direction on how to update your visual narrative in your carousel, what you should put in your images, what copy you should put in your images. And then we do a deep dive on your EBC side as well. And we give that all to you. And then we give you a CSV, so you can actually upload it directly into Amazon. And of course, you can track the performance. If you sign up for Zonguru subscription, you can track performance there as well. And then automatically upload as well, right? So just to be clear, this is a standalone service. If you have a subscription for Zonguru, or if you don't, you can go ahead and purchase this and test it, use it, and then obviously, if you want to track performance, sign up for Zonguru, right? So we're trying to make this available to everyone, whether you have a Zonguru subscription or not. Do this on your listings. The ROI that you're getting is literally probably a minute, and you will start getting more sales, right? So we'll go over some of the results that we're seeing from this, but the ROI you're getting on a listing is crazy. So get in there and get this done. Okay, so all right, so here you go. So okay, let's jump over. I'm going to jump over right now and show you this is the listing, right? So what is the report that you get? This is the report, right? So what we tell you up front is like, it's a deep dive on understanding your niche, your competitors, your USP, right? Your brand tone. You have the opportunity to control and teach the agents. So we understand, like, what are your competitors talking about? Or how do you uniquely position your product? And then importantly, what are customers actually wanting to hear about from the product? What is their intent, right? That search by intent, we understand. And then we create this listing that really speaks to that, connects with customers better, helps you to convert, but then we semantically match that and Cosmo match that for the knowledge graph that I talked about, right? And you get this in here. And so we show you current listing, new listing, exactly how you should write it, right? We'll give you the CSV so you can upload it easily. We give you your backend search terms. We then go into the optimization analysis. We talk about, hey, your listing is really focused on technical specs right now. How do we connect better emotionally? Because we now have the ability to breathe and give that on the listing. So what are the pain points that we need to address, right? Parent guilt, peace of mind messaging, lifestyle integration, quality time emphasis, right? These are critical things that we're seeing from the customer sentiment that we need to match on the listing. So we show you before and after, right? So before, you talked about programmable time feeding. Now you're talking about worry-free feeding schedule. So we addressing that anxiety, right? So these are the kind of things that we can map better on the Cosmo side, but also address the human pain points, right? So you get better conversion. We go into the technical mapping on the Cosmo side, right? So this is what you had in your listing. Now it matches better, right? And it's showing you it's mapped, right? So the used for function, the used for situation, target audience. We're telling you how to map it, and we explain it exactly here and how we map. Then we go into the A9 algorithm, right? The CYA part, especially with your title, right? We're showing you your top keywords. We're doing all that keyword intelligence on brand analytics, search query performance. Keywords on Fire is the best tool literally that gives you the most relevant, important keywords. We're mapping for that and making sure that your listing is still mapped for that in the right way without overstuffing the listing, and obviously Cosmo mapping. So we'll tell you all the keywords that you covered for. You can actually influence the buy keywords in the process, which is pretty cool. So when you get the product sheet back, if you feel you want to tweak the buy keyword, the main keyword, you can do that as well, which is pretty cool. So you'll see that now in the solution. And then we go into Rufus, how we answer that. your brand tone alignment, right? So we understand the brand tone. Your USP, how do you stand out? We tell you about that. How do we understand your unique value proposition and how we match that in your listing? And then anything on compliance. So you have an opportunity to talk about compliance in the brand intake form and in the product sheets. And we also understand your niche from the AI. We understand what's happening there. And we'll surface anything that's not compliant and why it's changed, right? So we address that in the listings. And then we go on the whole image side as well. So this is the other cool piece. So we go into the full deep research on, how do you stand out from your competitors from an image perspective. We highlight all the main key differentiators and the customer sentiments. We look at your competitor landscape. We look at all your top competitors. What are they talking about? How do you talk about it differently? And then we start getting into recommendations. So we tell you, hey, this is the actual order of your images and what you should position in those images. And then we go into each image and we say, this is the insights, right? This is the visual description of what you should put there. Here's your headline copy, the supporting copy, the priority message, technical requirements. And we give you a visual prompt that you can actually add into Nano Bananas. You can add it into whatever you want and actually produce an image that will show your graphic team exactly what they should create in that image. Now, we've specifically done that because technology is moving quickly, but we don't want to come up with a visual solution where you just put it straight into Amazon. We want to show your graphics team what they should create. This is a critical piece because graphics teams will still create the best image in the space. And yes, they can use AI in certain ways, but they need to finesse that. So we're giving them the best visual description of what that image should be. And then you put that into your graphics team and create your final graphic image. That's where you're going to get the best conversion, for your images. Don't just rely on just putting an AI image into Amazon at this point, right? That space is moving pretty quick. We also give you on the EBC side, we'll give you a breakdown of all of the insights that you should do, the order of images in your EBC side, the content that should go in there. And we also give you, which is pretty cool, we give you the alt tags, right? The alt tags and how you should actually tag your images. That's understood and read by LLMs. You need to make sure that you tag it in the right way. We give you all that feedback as well. So this is like done at every single ASIN level. If you implement the content and the image side, you're going to see massive improvement in your conversion and visibility. We'll show you some results for sure. And there's going to be a lot more case studies that are pretty much coming out right now to show you how to do this. Okay. All right. Some good questions coming in, guys. We are pretty much getting pretty close to shifting over to the questions. I want to just jump back here. I literally have a couple more minutes to cover here. And then, we'll jump over onto the new score. This is the score that we got for this latest listing, right? So 84 out of 100. You can see the mapping here. There's a whole deep dive on that report. But, moving from that 63 to 84, there's a couple of tweaks that maybe can be done more. But like this is a really strong listing. All the basics are there, the brand tone, the USP, how to connect better. The Rufus is 71% and the semantic mapping is 84%, which is ridiculous. I think it's a great listing here. And it's improved on a listing that actually does pretty well on Amazon right now. It's getting a 63, now up to an 84. Customer feedback we're getting. These are the things that we're seeing in the space. The graphics team, how it's implemented it. Conversion rate up by 7% and impressions are up within a few days, right? Some things like I wish I found this 6 months ago. Improved click-through rates across my listings. We're literally getting this feedback. It's in its early stages. We're seeing a lot of brands from the launch we did a month ago, finishing the A/B testing and seeing results, and now they're all reordering and bringing in a whole bunch of new COSMO listings, and we're scaling the reordering side massively because the results are coming through and everyone's seeing that hesitation. Hey, is A9 or COSMO? Making sure that we CYA on the A9 side, but give the listings the breathing, and we're seeing better results, more search volume, click-through rates, conversion rates. This is what you want to see in your listings, and it's happening right now during Q4. You need to do this right now for Q4, I can guarantee you. And if you're not going to do them right now because you're happy with where you're at least do the scoring on it, make some manual updates if you want. And then Q1, I'm telling you right now, the shift towards COSMO is going to become stronger and stronger. You need to be ahead of the game, and this will give you a leg up on any other competitor you have in this space. All right, this is the score on the person's listing. It's a kettlebell. They got a 56 out of 100. So there's some work to be done there. You get this listing for free, whoever submitted this. And here it is. 56 out of 100. Again, there's some good matching, right? Some basics, some surface level improvements that need to be done, and obviously some things that are critically missing. On the roofer side, there's some things that are answered well. Here you go. Questions partially answered. How do you improve it? Not answered. There's a bunch here that are, and that's actually just looking at this. It's a pretty cool insight, right? Like, kettlebells. If you use them before, and I've used them a lot, there's a strength training aspect to it, but there's actually a skill level to kettlebells, right? And how you skillfully use it, and what actual exercise you do with it is a critical part of using a kettlebell. So it's already bringing that insight that customers are looking for. If you can tell them how to use this in a better way, that's probably going to help you with conversion, because you can educate them, and they'll probably appreciate that a lot, right? So that's pretty cool to see. Some other gaps here, and then obviously the strategic recommendation at the end as well, right? So this is for free. We'll hand it over, but there's certainly some work to be done here. 56 out of 100 on that product, and we will go from there. So let's jump across. Again, let's jump into questions. Before I get there, we're going to leave it on this page. Why is this important to you? If you think you got a great listing, you can make it better, right? Now and before Q1, you get the deep research insights, which I think is a bonus in itself. We're using AI in the right way to do this deep research. We've had so many people come back and say, I've been trying to position my listing differently than for the last 2 years, and I haven't been able to figure it out. You guys surfaced the insights that I needed to make it correct. You can connect with people, represent your brand better, right? These are all things, the image carousel narrative, how to update your listings, the technical mapping. These are all here to ensure that you get the visibility you need on Amazon, where it's going and beyond, which is the critical piece, right? So get in now and start getting the quality score on Amazon and beyond. This is critical, and you can just do it for a couple listings and see the return, and then keep going. And we're seeing all these reorders coming in right now through the service, right? So I think that's it for right now. If you want to submit your listing, go ahead and fill this out, right? You fill this out, you pay your $100 for your listing, or your $400. Typically, we're getting people are submitting, they're saying, hey, we've got 20 listings, we're doing 5 up front. You'll do those, you'll do your brand intake once, right? You can fill that out, you teach the agent once, and then you'll review your product intake, and you'll get your final listing in a couple of days. And that can be for 1 listing, or for 5, or for 10, or for 20. You can submit as many as you want. You'll get this back in a CSV format, plus all the reports, and you can start to upload these into Amazon, or through Zonguru. If you have a Zonguru subscription, you can load them through that, because you have an automatic way that you can upload it and track results from there, and start to see results, right? We've had people that are A/B testing right now. They've had the wins from there, and now they're going in and reordering and putting in all the COSMO listings. So I guarantee you guys are going to love what you see on this exclusive offer. Again, what we've added to this on COSMO 100 is, if you submit 3 ASINs today, we'll give you free scoring reports for 3 ASINs. You can do it on your current 3, or we'll talk to you, and you can submit it on any other ASINs you want, right? And we can do that right up front. Again, this is MVP. We have a team that's working on that. At this stage, we're not going to give it away just totally free. We want to see that you're actually engaging with the service. We guarantee you, for a couple of submissions on this, you're going to start to see the ROI on that back. Think about $100, just improving your conversion rate by 0.1%. You're going to get the payback on that immediately, right? So get going on this. We're seeing amazing feedback from big sellers. This is a massively talked about topic right now, and we're on top of this, and we're giving you not only the right technical product, but a product that is such a better quality in terms of how you write those listings than anything else that is in the space. We're really proud of it. So get in and go for it. All right, let's jump in and answer some of the questions here. So I'm going to leave this up here for you guys. So let's just see. Yeah, I'm going to leave this up here so you can see that. I'm going to go ahead and start answering some of these questions that are in here. So sorry, Eva, I see your message, John Slack. Yeah, people don't see the slide. They're seeing it now, right? Which is good. So let's go ahead and actually answer some of these questions. I'm going to just stop sharing my screen here. All right. And let's get into these questions. Keep them coming, guys. I'm here for the next few minutes. Stay on. Again, if you, Eva, if you can post the link to the offer so that people have it there. I know people are asking if they are actually getting it. Let me get in here and answer some questions. I'm going to go back and look at some of these questions. There's a lot in here. So Let's go back here. Any idea when COSMO is coming to UK? Yes, it's going to be literally, I would say, don't hold me accountable for this, but within the next couple of weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, we will announce it. We're going to have a webinar on that. We have many sellers that are waiting for the UK. That is the next market that we are launching this in. But the USA for sure, get that going right now. That is important, right? So we have a wait list there of people on the UK. I think we're hundreds deep. But if you want to get in, start using it now. You literally get into into the pipeline on your US, and you can start doing UK as well. So we have a follow-up system. Once you're in, you can reorder more, which we're going through right now, right? Geez, we got so many people from cool places, Croatia, some cool things. So do you guys think that Amazon PPC ads will show on LLM in the future in some way or form? No, I don't think so. So, there is going to be, for sure, there's going to be a paid for aspects of how to get integrated into a conversational search. There's already been rumors about that. Clearly, there's going to be the integration of the e-commerce side on ChatGPT, right? Which is going to be, there's a crazy power struggle going to happen between Amazon and ChatGPT on that. They have some leverage because ChatGPT is now using, a bunch of AWS, right? And NVIDIA chips on that side. So, I'm sure there's going to be a good outcome for Amazon in this front. But yeah, this idea of like that balance between this is an organic conversational search and recommendation, and how some paid placements can happen in that is going to be a crazy space to watch. Is best practice to answer these Rufus questions on the bullet points on the product description section of the listings? So in the bullets is the most important. The product description is there. It's on the back end search terms, but the bullets is the best place. And there is a way that you can do that. That's what AI is so good at. It can write those and make sure that the mapping is there. But every place that you can answer, previously product description wasn't as important. It's coming back for sure. In your A+ content, that's a critical place for that. Like, your EBC content, right? Like, make sure that you address key pain points. If you have any awards that you're winning, some objections, make sure that you addressing it there. Q&A, right? Like, there's ways you can see it there as well, which is kind of important as well. Sorry guys, I see all the slide references here. Sorry. Okay, a lot of questions on that. We addressed that. Okay, let's keep going down. Once we do all the updates on the listing, can we see that our new listing scores on the Zonguru platform by default? So the answer is yes, but coming soon. So we have the scoring system, and we have it built obviously inside of this new model. This has to be built into Zonguru's listing optimizer, right? We have a scoring system there right now, which is A9 heavy. There is going to be a link in there to actually show you what the new COSMO scoring is. And that's coming incredibly soon. But you have the ability, obviously in the listing to see how you're scoring, how it's matching better. And then obviously we have this new product. So as you put in the listings, you can request those scores and we can give it to you and you can see it. But that is being built into listing optimizer. And that's the next phase, right? So the MVP is like, let's get some feedback on this current COSMO scoring. Hopefully we get some thumbs up that you guys really want that scoring. And then we are building that into not just giving you a solution, but the actual scoring around that as well. Okay, what else we got here? Do you check competitors in your analysis? Absolutely. We go deep on the research side. Again, like what AI is really good at and how we've taught this system is to understand your brand tone, your USP. We're getting that from primary data on the niche, but also from you. You have control of that. We're then looking at all the competitors. What are they talking about? What are their similarities and how to be unique and stand out from those? So looking at the weak points of what competitors are talking about. And then we look at customer sentiment. So what do customers actually care about? And those three things combine to actually help you deliver the listing, right? So that's why the product level and the actual quality of the listing is so much higher. Australia is coming. That's going to be next. Japan, not yet. That is coming up. Let's see what else we got here. What is the turnaround time on an ASIN? So if you submit an ASIN, right now I'd say the turnaround time, because you have to submit an ASIN, you'll get on that form, you can fill out your brand intake. If you do that immediately, it triggers it to our team. We run it through the model. You then have to check the product sheets to make sure that at a high level, you think everything is aligning with your brand. So we do give you that opportunity to check it. And if you say yes, then we do it at the final product. So I would say the turnaround time right now is anywhere between 48 to 72 hours to get that. And importantly, it's not just one ASIN. If you submit 5 ASINs, you'll get all of those back in one shot, right? So because it's allowing you the ability to add to that, there's typically 24 to 72 hours turnaround time. How do you all identify the questions on Rufus? So as I showed you there, right, we have the mapping around all the questions that Rufus needs to answer, right? That's the mapping. And then we also look at customer sentiment. What are they looking for? We look at reviews and we look at Q&A, right? So Q&A, what are people really trying to understand? And then we do have some reverse engineering where we actually ask questions of Rufus and we see what answers are coming back, and we make sure that you quality score that in your listing. So there's a bunch that happens on the Rufus side. All right, Germany's coming soon. And I think that's it on the question side. Guys, I hope everyone got a lot of value out of this. Again, get in. Please use sign up for the COSMO service. You will get ASINs specifically exclusive to this. We will give you the ability to check your scoring on ASINs. We want feedback on that. And if there's some good conversation going back and forth, we'll probably throw in a few more COSMO reports that you can run. There is going to be a conversation going back and forth. So right now we're going to match. If you add 3 COSMO transformation services, we'll give you 3 ASINs. You can test on those ones or different ones. But again, if we're getting good feedback from you, we'll give you a bunch more that you can test on your ASINs. We want to get some feedback on that and give you those scorings. And then you can either run that through COSMO transformation or manually update your listings how you want. But if you want to scratch that itch and you're like, I'm not sure how my listing scores right now, let me get some feedback. Let me see where the gaps is. This is your chance. And you're literally the world's first to get this COSMO scoring. It is exclusive to this webinar. We haven't announced it anywhere on our website, anywhere else other than in this webinar. So you guys are the first. Get in, please use that. And again, if you get in and you sign up right now, you're going to get those ASINs, and we have a team on that side that will come back, ask you which ASINs you want for, the ones you submitted or different ones, and we'll run that report and get you those reports probably in the next 24 hours. We have a team sitting there ready to take your ASINs and put them into the reports and run it through and give you those results, and then you can start working on your listings. All right, last question there. What is the difference between COSMO and Rufus? COSMO, and I explained this up front, but if you missed it, COSMO is the new intelligent algorithm that is there, almost like an LLM, right, to help you to map semantically for all the keywords that are out there. Rufus is just the conversational agent part of that, but it's really looking at the questions and answers. And if you have a conversation there, how does it surface, you as a recommendation, right? So Rufus is, you can go in there, you can start asking questions right now of Rufus, but it's the conversational aspect of LLM experiences, right, and how you can get recommendations. Guys, good luck out there. I hope that everything is going fantastically for you for Q4. Get in, start doing some listings, testing them right now, and I'm telling you, you're going to see the results, and then you can get way ahead of it before Q1 coming in next year and just crush it and be way ahead of everyone else. This algorithm has become more and more important because Amazon has to keep up, and it has to keep ahead of the game to own that conversational experience and not give it away to ChatGPT. So it is moving fast in that direction. You need to be at the cutting edge and get in and use that. And there's going to be so much more coming our way. What's crazy about engineering is the pace that we can move it now with integration of AI into our system. So we're moving at a rapid pace. You're going to start seeing things like this come out each week as we grow and double down in the space. So get on the ZonGuru train right now and make sure that you're staying ahead of the game, and we can help you navigate this and be way ahead of the competition. We'll check you guys out at the next webinar. There will be one next month. So sign up for our newsletter, stay in the know. Good luck out there. And if you have any questions, go to support@zonguru.com, ask questions there, sign up for COSMO, and let's start going through this process together, and we'll get you there. All right. Cheers. Have a great day. Bye.